A very good morning to you all, my dear students. In the last class, we discussed a particle under the presence of magnetic field. So, we applied the magnetic field along the path of the moving charge. So, there is no effect. So, magnetic force is 0. So, it moves along a straight line path. If you apply the force in perpendicular direction, then the particle moves in circular path. If the charged particle is moving at an angle with respect to theta, it is moving in helical path. So, in the presence of magnetic field, it experiences the force that is called magnetic force. As we tell that is equals to what? F is equals to QVB sin theta. Okay. So, in the presence of magnetic field, it experiences the force. In the presence of electric field also, it experiences the force, right? Yes. What is that force? F is equals to QE. Now, we are making the particle to move in combined electric and magnetic field. That's why that force is called Lorentz force. So, what is Lorentz force is very simple and important for 2 marks, that is the force experienced by a moving charge in combined electric and magnetic field. So, we are applying both electric and magnetic field. It experiences both electric force and magnetic force, that is called Lorentz force. That is, in the presence of magnetic field, what is the formula? QVB sin theta. In the presence of electric, what is the force? QE. So, we can write as QE plus Q into V bar cross B bar. That implies F equals to Q into E bar plus V bar cross P bar. So, this equation is called Lorentz force equation, means the force experienced by a charged particle in the presence of both electric and magnetic field is called Lorentz force. Now, as usual, for example, we consider only 2 cases here. What is that 2 case is, we consider electric field, magnetic field and the charged particle are moving along same direction. So, when electric field, magnetic field and velocity of charged particle are parallel, means all are moving along the same direction. So, let us take a charge. This charge is Q, moving with velocity V, and you applied electric field as well as magnetic field. So, when we apply electric field and magnetic field, what is the force experienced charge here? F is equals to Q into E plus VB sin theta. What is theta here? Both are along same direction, theta is equals to 0, then this total term becomes 0. It experiences only electric force, hence the particle moves without any displacement along straight line. So, here if the charged particle is positive, since electric field and charged particle along same direction, the particle gets accelerated. If it is negatively charged particle, what happens? See, if it is negative charged particle, this is electron, assume that. So, here in this case, electron is moving this and electric field is also moving this. Electric field is always move from positive to negative. So, we can write, if electron is moving parallel to electric field, it deaccelerates. Why it will deaccelerate, ma? Because the direction of electron will be negative to positive. So, the electric field is moving from positive to negative, its velocity will decreases. So, this is the first condition. What is the first condition? What we learned here? The force experienced by a moving charge in combined electric and magnetic field is called what? It is called Lorentz force. So, nothing but the summation of force experienced by charge in electric field and magnetic field. This is force experienced by charge particle in electric field. This is the force experienced by charge in magnetic field. So when you consider the conditions, two conditions we are taking here. One, that when electric field, magnetic field and the moving charge are along same direction, means which are moving parallel to each other, then it experiences only electric force because magnetic force is 0. Understood? Next one. Next one, what we will get now? When E bar, V and B are mutually perpendicular to each other. Is it right? Electric field, velocity and magnetic field are mutually perpendicular to each other. So let us take that the charge is moving with velocity along x axis. We applied electric field along y axis. Is it right? As you know, along which direction electric field is applied, the charge particle experience the electric fields along the same direction, that is Fe along y axis. And x and y, electric field and the velocity of charge particle, then obviously we should consider along z axis we applied the magnetic field. So forget about this one. Now the charge is moving along x axis, we should remember Fleming's left hand thumb rule. Next, the magnetic field is along z axis. So then the direction of thumb is towards which direction, ma? Negative y axis. So it experiences the force along negative y axis. So this is Fm. So it experiences the force along magnetic force. Okay. So now we consider the condition. What we can consider the condition here? The electric force and magnetic force are opposite in direction. So what happens now? Net force F is equals to Fe minus Fb, sorry Fm. F is equals to Qe minus Qb, because sin 90, right? So what you get? Fe is equals to Qe minus Qbv sin theta. If the net force on the charged particle is 0, I have assumed that if net force on charged particle is 0, then what happens? If the net force is 0, equate this to Qe is equals to Qvb, right? Because Qv minus Qv is equals to 0, Qe is equals to Qvb, Q cancel, V is equals to E by B. This is called velocity selector. Why we are saying this is velocity selector here? When the net force is 0, the particle moves along straight line. So we can change the velocity of the particle by changing electric and magnetic field, right? If you want to increase the velocity, then electric field has to vary so that the velocity of the particle will changes, or by changing magnetic field also we can change the velocity of the particle. That's why it is called what? Velocity selector. So why it is called velocity selector? It is an arrangement of crossed uniform and electric magnetic fields used to select the charged particles of particular velocity. So we can select the velocity of charged particles from a beam of charged particles. Means I can calculate. So this way is called what, ma? Velocity selector. So what is the function of this one? Here this perpendicular. So we can have some different terms, that is crossed electric and magnetic fields, means E bar cross B bar is represents what? These are perpendicular to each other So we can say that those are called crossed fields. So what are crossed fields? If electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, those are called what ma? Crossed fields. So now we are saying that velocity selector. What is velocity selector? Simple logic. In a beam of charged particles, so some beam of light is coming, in that beam of charged particles, you want to select particular charged particles velocity. So you can retrace them by using this condition E by B. So this definition is 1 mark for important. Condition and definition. What the definition? Condition? V is equals to E by B, and we can write the definition as, so what we done here? We arrange an cross electric field, right? It is an arrangement of crossed electric and magnetic fields used to select the charged particles of particular velocity from a beam of charged particles having different velocity. So by arranging this cross electric and magnetic field, we can select the charged particle of particular velocity having a different velocities. That is, the condition is what ma? V is equals to E by B. Okay. So what are the uses of this one? This used to find specific charge as well as used for principle of mass spectroscopy. What are the uses here? It is used to measure specific charge. So what is specific charge? You know, Q by M. So this principle was used by J.J. Thomson in 1897 to calculate the specific charge. He used the same principle of velocity selector, and where we can also use here, it is used as principle of mass spectroscope. It is used as principle of mass spectroscopy. Sir, what is mass spectroscopy? We can have it out, right? So this is a device used to separate ions according to their specific charge. So in it experiment, if you use this mass spectroscope, it will divide the ions, for example Na plus ions or Cl ions, based on their specific charge. Because the specific charge is different for different materials, it utilizes this concept of velocity selector, and we can calculate specific charge. Based on specific charge, we can divide the ions. So those are the uses of velocity selector. So now from this we come to know that we can accelerate the charged particle when it is in the presence of electric field. Yes. So if we use magnetic field, what happens? So we come one point that there is, when you apply magnetic field perpendicular, the particle moves in circular path. So the principle of electric field and magnetic field has been very well used in one device. That device is called cyclotron. So the application what we studied till now, that we are going to apply in a device named called cyclotron. So, what is this cyclotron? This cyclotron is a device used to accelerate. It is a device used to accelerate positively charged particles. This device used to what? Accelerate positively charged particles. This was invented by two scientists. Those names are Ivo Lawrence and one more fellow is MS Livingston. So, these two scientists has invented this device using the principles of electric field and magnetic field. Let us know how it works and how it is going to accelerate charged particles using the concept of electric field and magnetic field. See here, this is cyclotron. It consisting of these two are metallic discs. This is called what, ma? These two are called as what? Metallic discs, which are insulated each other. Okay. Now, what is the particle that we are going to accelerate? Which particle we are going to accelerate here? Positively charged particle. That positively charged particle is present at the center of these two D's called D1 and D2. Now, we said that we are going to accelerate the charged particles by using electric and magnetic fields, right? Okay. So, these two D's are connected to an oscillator. This is the source of electric field. So, this source is what? AC source, under alternating current we are going to use. Next, we should apply magnetic field, right? How to apply magnetic field? We should apply here perpendicular magnetic field. So, perpendicular magnetic field, how we are going to apply is, we are taking these two discs. On this, we are placing bar magnets, so that this is the representation of application of magnetic field. So, we are represent like this means what? Here we applied a magnetic field in perpendicular direction. So, this is perpendicular magnetic field. Now, we apply electric field. So, what is the function of these two discs? Let us see. Here, this device called RF oscillator has one special character called, it should change the polarity on the D's for every off interval, for every off rotation, or in the time interval of T by 2, it has to change the polarity on D's. Polarity nothing but positive and negative signs. Don't confuse. So, the function of this RF oscillator is what, ma? To change the polarity on D's for a time interval of T by 2. This is very important condition. For every off interval of time, it should change the polarity on the D's. This is called exit slit. Okay, right. Now, what happens? Let us take the, clearly listen, concentrate on this one. So, here assume that this is positively charged particle, right? So, at first this is positive, this is negative. During first case, initially the polarity on D1 is positive, D2 is negative. So, this is which particle? Positive charged particle, right? So, this will accelerate it towards negative. So, here these are insulated, that you should remember. Insulated means what? Inside the D's, the effect of electric field is 0, because insulated means it does not allow the current or potential. So, it whatever the things that has to get accelerated, it should be done between the D's. Okay. So, what is the first during first half cycle? This is positive and this is negative. So, this will accelerate it towards D2. Yes. If it accelerated due to D2, so it accelerated between the D's, now went inside. Inside there is no effect of electric field. Now it is under magnetic field. So, there is no insulator, right? Because magnetic lines of force pass through the conductor. So, what happens now? Inside the D, it travels, it completes off cycle and moves in which path? Circular path, because the magnetic field is perpendicular. Now, the positive particle is at this point here, right? Now, time interval T/2 completed. Now, it becomes negative, because for every off cycle it has to change its polarity, it becomes positive. Now, it is negative, it is positive. The positive charge particle accelerated towards D1, right? Inside circular path. Next, it came here. Now, it becomes positive, it becomes negative. Accelerated towards D2, inside circular path. So, again came here. Again accelerated between the D's. Again, so it keep on moving and finally the velocity increases and comes out of the slit with the maximum velocity. So, here what it is used here, that is the principle, right? What we done? Between the D's it accelerated, between the D's accelerated, and the magnetic field makes the charge particle to move in circular path, right? So, we can write in crossed fields electric field accelerates the charged particle whereas magnetic field makes the charged particle to move in circular orbit. So, this is the principle. So, we apply electric field to accelerate the charged particle between the D's. In the D's, it moves in circular particle. So, what you can write here? So, it finally moves with maximum velocity. See here, what is the radius of the circular path? Centripetal force should be balanced by which force? Magnetic force, because inside the D's it undergoes circular path. V cancel from this. V is equals to QBR by M. Now the question is, sir, you said that we have accelerate the charge particle. How we accelerate the charge particle? See, V is equals to what you got? QBR by M. For every cycle, what is happening here? For every cycle, what you observe? Radius of the circular orbit go on increase the size or not? Charge particle remains same, magnetic field is constant, mass of the particle is also constant, right? So, now what we done here? See, the radius of the circular path for each and every cycle go on increases. So, velocity of the particle increases, and you come to know that this is called velocity selector equation. See, Q by M. If you measure the radius and you know applied magnetic field, can't you calculate specific charge? So, that is why we said that this velocity selector is used to find specific charge. Understood? Now, what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is equals to half m v square, half m into v square, q square, b square, r square by m square. Cancel. What do you get? Q square, b square, r square by 2m. Frequency, you know, already we derived in perpendicular magnetic field. What is the frequency will come? F is equals to QB by 2 pi m. So the cyclotron, this frequency is also called what? In which it is oscillating? Cyclotron, right? So that's why this is called cyclotron frequency. Cyclotron frequency also independent of radius and velocity. So this is the function of cyclotron and its principle. So nimge maximum times this question will ask, draw the diagram of cyclotron, write the uses of cyclotron and limitations of cyclotron keltarkana. So diagram you can draw. Now what is the uses kana? It is used to accelerate the charged particles, right? Yes. And this also used to synthesize new materials. How? A high speed velocity charged particle is strike on a surface. What happens? The particle embedded into this surface changes its properties. So it is used to synthesize new materials and also used in hospitals or diagnosis. Why? It is used to produce radioactive materials. Those radioactive materials are used in diagnosis. So these are the uses of cyclotron. So 2 marks question, what are the uses of cyclotron and what are the limitations of cyclotron? Here I am going to explain or write uses of cyclotron. So what are the uses of cyclotron? First one, it is used to accelerate charged particles. It is also used to synthesize new materials, and it is also used to produce radioactive materials. So these are the uses of cyclotron. Next, coming to limitations. What are the limitations? That also helpful, ma. Where we cannot use, we are saying that it used to accelerate charged particles, but it cannot accelerate neutral particles, right? So uncharged particles, or it cannot accelerate electron also. Why? Electron is having very less mass. So if we accelerate by using electron, what happens? Small increasing of the electron makes the electron move with high speed. So the electron goes out quickly out of phase with oscillating electric field. So first thing is what? It cannot accelerate uncharged particles like neutron. Next one, it accelerate heavy particles like proton and alpha, etc., but not electron. You know reason? A small change in energy will give maximum velocity, so that it comes out of the phase very small time. And last one is, it cannot accelerate charged particles to speed of light. Okay, so these are the important things for uses and limitations of cyclotron. Now ವೈ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಎಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವಿಟಿ ಎಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬೈ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1 minus v square by c square means a moving mass loses its mass. So, this is m naught is rest mass, m mass is mass in motion, v square by c square. If v is equals to c, then rest mass is 0 and the moving mass becomes infinity. So, it cannot accelerate the charged particles to speed of light. So, go through the class without fail, students. Thank you so much.